Bethesda is trying so desperately to save Starfield. They refuse to accept that it's already too late.
Out right here. It says Eurogamer readers vote Starfield number 7 in their top 50 games of 2023. So at least there's that. If we scroll down here, we do have some replies from.
Admittedly, this is true, but we all know that Eurogamer is an absolute joke who no one cares about. But truthfully, I'm kind of interested to know what happened here. Because seriously, what did happen here? Was Germany the only ones who were allowed to vote or something? Because keep in mind, in Germany, Forklift Simulator has been the most selling, most played, most highly rated popular game since its release. And before that, it was Euro Truck Simulator. And before that, well, they were tied with Farming Simulator. You kind of understand where I'm going with this, aren't you?
Serious Process 6310, who says, I started a new playthrough and I'm having fun again. However, I'm completely avoiding using the constellation companions as they are incredibly boring and judgmental. Instead,
Brain damaged. Let's just say what it is. All the constellation companions are literally the same companion, and they're all boring. Though that's actually all the companions in the game are the same companion. Oh, it's so lame.
I'm role playing as a bounty hunter rogue that has no qualms with killing anyone. My companion is the adoring fan, and he has turned out to be by far the best companion. No matter what I do, he praises me and does not judge as I move from one blood soaked planet to the next. Actually, really fun. And I think that's one of the core issues of Starfield again, is the companion system. You know what? I've actually been diving back into Skyrim, and the more I play Skyrim, I really do see some of the glaring flaws for Starfield, and one of them being the companions. You know, the companions in Skyrim, I actually want them to join me on adventures, and there's some hilarious.
I didn't. I played Skyrim without a companion for most time. Yeah, I mean they weren't bad, but I wouldn't say that they were the most interesting ones. The best companions by far are in the Fallout games, New Vegas especially. Every companion is distinctively interested in X stuff against other stuff and so on. And you can tell if they don't like something. But, it's not like Sarah when you pickpocket someone and she instantaneously stands in front of that guy and says, "Oh, why did you pickpocket him? Huh?" Disgusting. Annoying. Well, fully Bethesda, I would probably like to say.
Mod companions in there as well. But yeah, that's one of the core issues. And I really, really hope that we see new companions with the expansion that's coming up here, Shattered Space. They really need to tap into this part of
I can't wait for the expansion. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely want it to come out faster because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be epic. It's made by the same idiot who wrote dialogue already in Starfield and made the lore. The guy who is self-absorbed as being the best writer ever. That guy, yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to see how much of a joke the new lore is in Starfield. It's gonna be amazing.
the game, because yeah, you're finding more and more people are, not even wanting to venture out there with the companions, which is a huge problem, a core issue with the game for sure. And then you have this one right here, Starfield attempting a Cyberpunk 2077 reputation repair seems inevitable. And you know what? I totally agree. I hope this
Oh
is
boy.
the path that Bethesda is on.
Good luck. This can never happen because Bethesda doesn't understand what it did wrong. Bethesda is clueless. The first thing they do when people find something fun, they nerf it because they think that's the way to go.
Right now, because
Dude, when you're a gaming company and people find something that they like doing, and your first instinct is to instantaneously nerf it, because if this didn't exist, then people would probably appreciate the rest of the bad game more. Then you have failed on every level possible.
they definitely have the player base. The numbers are there, at least initially. People already have had Starfield installed on either the Xbox Series X or, of course, their PC. And I think that if it gets significant updates, like we saw from Cyberpunk, and reduced price sales, that sort of thing, when they time a, big overhaul for this game, I think people will come back to the game, much like they did with Cyberpunk. Look at the shape that Cyberpunk is in. You know, there were many people saying Cyberpunk 2077 is their game of the year for 2023. And a lot of people said, hey, that's never going to happen. Don't hold your breath. And it actually did happen. And Bethesda, can they live up to that reputation? Can they pull off a CD project?
What reputation? CD Projekt Red's reputation? No, they already failed. CD Projekt Red didn't do anything honestly too amazing. They just listened to the thing that people said that they like, and they made it better. They made it bigger, they made it a bigger part of the game, they made it more prolific. So people said that, hey, we don't like this in Cyberpunk. They did the crazy thing and they removed it. They made it better, they fixed it and whatnot. Bethesda's never gonna do that. So there is no redemption. Now, don't get me wrong. I am 100% certain that Bethesda is planning some kind of grandiose, oh, this is gonna save Starfield type of situation, patch update or whatever. But it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It will not be good. It will be a complete hit and a miss. 100%. I don't believe Bethesda understand what are the core problems with their game even. Because if Bethesda understood what gaming is about, Starfield would not exist in the first place. Because everyone playing this game thinks it's bad. Except people with, well, how do I put this delicately? Extremely low self-awareness. Yeah, let's put it like that. Only those people think that Starfield is good currently. Everyone else is not, is disillusioned. Now, admittedly, there are some exceptions. Now, I do understand. If you're like a COD player or something like that, and Starfield is your first open world MMORPG roleplay, blah, 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 then you probably are thinking, wow, this is not that bad. But that's because you have not seen anything else. Your only point of reference is Starfield, and that is, again, if you think Starfield is good and this is your first game of this type, that's actually understandable. But go play other games that are similar, that are a similar genre to Starfield, and you're instantaneously gonna just be disillusioned how bad Starfield is. Go play Fallout New Vegas, the best Bethesda game that Bethesda didn't make. Okay, go do that. And you will instantaneously be disillusioned on how bad Starfield truly is.
Project Red of sorts. Now, if we dive into the Forbes article here, it says this, as you may or may not recall, Cyberpunk launched as a financial success. It sold 13 million copies in December. Launch month alone, CD Projekt Red could have dusted off their hands, had a few million more sales trickle in over time, taken that bank and moved on. But guess what? Yes, they didn't. They stuck with it. And I want to look to Bethesda.
Well, first of all, that's also not an accurate story. CD Projekt Red got sued by the investors for lying. I don't remember. I think they got sued for something else. I think Valve gave back people money for buying the game. PlayStation stopped selling Cyberpunk. There was a whole plethora of things. To be honest, CD Projekt Red had no choice but to fix the game. Otherwise, it would be completely over for them. If they didn't, their studio would most likely just shut down.
That's history. A good indication of them sticking with Starfield is Fallout 76. They could have been like, oh man, people hate this game, we are done. No, they stuck with it. They continue to update it, and that alone gives me some hope, a glimmer of hope.
They updated it because it had a cash shop. They lied about 76 in every single way possible. 76 was also an absolute unanimous disaster. When the game launched, there were so many bugs, and the game, yeah, it's less buggy now, true, but it's still an unplayable mess. Again, I played 76 like 6 months ago. I have roughly 40 hours on it on Steam. The game is just not worth it. Yeah, there's NPCs, but these NPCs bug out. They don't react. They don't do things. It's a mess. It's really bad. They kind of put in the bare bones that people are getting duped into actually trying 76. That's how far they came. And Bethesda lied about a lot of things. Okay, so one of the things that Bethesda lied about is they said, "Oh, 76 is not going to have a shop where you can buy Palmer." Guess what? You can buy Palmer instantaneously. They broke that promise in less than a week, if I remember correctly. Bethesda only cares about 76 because it is a cash shop. It has a cash shop attached to it where they directly sell Palmer. That's it. That's the whole story.
For Starfield, even with Elder Scrolls 6 on the horizon, because this is their reputation we're talking about. Now, there's some things I think that Starfield will not be able to fix because it's like a core gameplay issue, but maybe they can like fine tune it and update it in that regard. Now, when we talk about what is happening going forward in 2024 officially for Starfield, we need to look at what Bethesda has actually said right here. So let's take a look, shall we? So it says this. First, we're targeting updates roughly every 6 weeks starting in February. Now, these updates will include everything from quality of life improvements to content and feature updates. Join our Steam beta branch to be the first to try these updates as they begin rolling out. And don't panic. If you can't join that, I have you guys covered. I'll make sure that I can get in there and check it out for you guys.
I mean, it's not happening. Again, the updates that we gotten so far, well, you all already know. I mentioned this every single video, Starfield, right? It's the same deal. The updates that have been given so far are nothing. They might as well not exist. Bethesda touts them as these great big updates that give players what they want. But in reality, it's none of that. It's none of the changes people want. It's like a quality of life change that should have already been in the game. Okay? That's it. That's the only updates Bethesda is giving.
Now, we have this right here. Now, it says we've been reading all this.
And it's not even a lot. Okay? It's these giant patches are one thing added to the game and that's it. It's stupid.
Feedback and are excited to start launching these new features. We'll be adding new ways to travel, and you'll now be able to access city maps, woohoo, while exploring the major cities. Now, for those of you who love shipbuilding, we'll also be expanding on ship customization with ship decorations, new shipbuilding options, and more. And yeah, I think shipbuilding is by far one of the key features of the game that is extremely popular. I'm kind of curious.
It's probably the most popular thing, even though shipbuilding is stupid. It doesn't make sense to build your ship. It's pointless to build your ship. Yeah, some people have gotten, some cool things done with shipbuilding, but ultimately it's pointless. Unless you want to play Starfield specifically for ship designing, there is no point in ship designing other than that. Most people don't even do shipbuilding. They just add a random laser here and there and call it a day. Because it's pointless. Because no one likes space combat. The irony of the shipbuilding being almost palatable is the fact that no one wants to be in space in Starfield because space is the worst part of Starfield. So, what's the point of having good shipbuilding? Well, again, it's not good shipbuilding. The controls are complete jank until you understand what's happening, and it doesn't tell you if something's wrong. It's a whole bonanza of sadness.
Post a comment down below. How many of you are actually really invested in shipbuilding, or is it something you kind of like are like, meh, I want to explore. That's what I prefer to do. Sound off in.
Oh, and the exploration, people are saying that they're gonna add some kind of vehicle, which would be hilarious, honestly, in my opinion. Because what's the point of a vehicle? There's nothing on the planets to explore, so essentially you're just getting out of your spaceship. You're probably gonna have to suffer a 10-second animation until you get on the vehicle that you're supposed to traverse on because reasons. And then you just get faster to your next load screen that's indoors. The vehicles don't make sense. And then it's gonna be even more blatantly obvious. Wait a minute, that Starfield has vehicles in it, except spaceships only in space. Yeah, so why doesn't anyone else have a vehicle? You're gonna ask the question, which is gonna be even more problems. And by the way, you know what Starfield has actually? Mech suits. Yeah, Starfield unironically has mech suits in there a lot. You can see them in some locations. and people even talk about them, they're referenced, but no one uses them because they're illegal, I guess. Well, they are technically illegal, I guess. But even the pirates, though, think they're so illegal that they don't. It makes no sense. Okay?
The comments down below. Now, we have this right here. It says, we're also excited to be adding all new gameplay options. With these new settings, you'll be able to alter your gameplay to allow for an easier and more challenging experience that will expand beyond our normal difficulty setting. These will allow you to easily customize carry capacity, cargo access distance, ship damage, vendor credits, how you suffer afflictions, new survival mechanics, and more. Now, that last one, in my opinion, gets me very, very excited. I was kind of bummed to hear that they had all these survival mechanics that they had in the game and they kind of abandoned it. I think that sort of thing can really separate Starfield from Fallout, from Skyrim, Bethesda's other franchises. So I'm glad to see that they are going to be actually including this in the game, and this isn't some like...
These survival mechanics are going to be a blatant copy of already existing Fallout 4 survival mechanics. You can bet your money on it. I'm willing to bet everything I have. That these survival mechanics are not going to be new. Everything that they have done in Starfield, they're just stripping out chunks and pieces of already existing games.
Like speculation or rumor. Now, it says, next, official mod support will be coming to Starfield with the launch of Creations. Beginning early next year, Starfield will be getting its own exporter, and you'll have access to a new Creation Kit. Modding has always been an enormous part of our games with incredible community-made content, constantly bringing fresh experience. All right, we get it. So that's really cool. But get this, someone is currently working on, I kid you not, a playable mech. Check this out right here. This one comes from Jared.
Oh, wow.
4, I believe it is. And
But yeah, again, mechs were probably, in my opinion, mechs were probably designed to be a part of Starfield from the beginning, but they got cut. Because what's the point of a mech? You can't use them indoors. There's no point of using them outdoors, so...
I'm not going to play the full video. I want to send you guys to his channel so you can check it out. But yeah, this is very inspiring to see because I think that this will perhaps make it onto console, at least something like this. Because
as a mod, maybe.
We're going to be getting support for console mods for Starfield.
You know what I'm wondering about mods, official mods and whatnot? How is it going to work? Okay, so you make a mod for the game, but as the updates the game, mod breaks, right? What if modder does not fix mod? Then you paid for something that doesn't work? Does it work like that? What's happening here?
I think it's inevitable that that's actually going to be happening, and I think that's going to make the Xbox Series X community very, very happy. Of course, we're going to expect things like this on PC, no doubt.
Well, to be fair, a shit on a stick is going to make the Xbox fanboys happy, honestly, at this point.
Now, let's get into your top comments from...
No, thank you. Anyway, that was our boy. Open World Games. It is what it is. Oh, you can see it. Wait a minute. Whoop. He doesn't have an outro. He only has this part, so, you know, that's all that I can show. Again, why does he not have an outro? No idea, but it is what it is. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.